Breaking news. Sam Altman just terminated, I think last Friday, is now the CEO of OpenAI. He's back, y'all. And we got to let you know how this happened. This is, I guess I would call this the beast move of the decade. Just 5 days getting put out as CEO. He is now back leading OpenAI forward. This is incredible news. We're going to break it down here on Two Doc Minds. We're going to give you, what we think happened based on all the information that we read and we've been following this matter for a while. So stay tuned. I'm Dr. J. I'm with Two Doc Minds. So again, I'm back. I'm Dr. J with Two Doc Minds, and we're going to break down what we think happened with Sam Altman. Again, he was, fired from his position last Friday. Today, Wednesday, he's been appointed back the CEO of OpenAI. And 3 board members are no longer there. I got to tell you, this is a beast mode move of the century, and we're gonna give you blow by blow on what we think happened. So let's start off. OpenAI is an artificial intelligence company. I think it started off as a nonprofit. So when it started, right, you had a different composition of the board. Certainly, you had the policy wonks, you had the folks that are safety and really, being responsible. You may not have had as many, really true business and tech folks on that board. I don't know, but I know there's been a lot of transition in that board. But when he was terminated on Friday, I think they had 6 board members. So, having an even number of board members is just ludicrous in itself. But having just a few board members is another concerning thing, but I'm certain they're going to fix that. Right? They will fix that. I had no doubt about that, because you can't have this foolishness going on for a company that Microsoft reportedly invested 13 billion. It owns about 49% of OpenAI. So when you have that, listen, you can't have all these shenanigans that went over the last 5 days. So you apparently had, some issues at the board level. And from what we've read, and we did a lot of our research online, but the New York Times, had a great article that came out today. And it talked about he was fired because he wasn't being transparent enough with the board. So what does that mean? Right? We know, or allegedly know, that he wanted to bring some more business-minded folks on the board. At least that's what's being reported. And, there was some concern with that. Think about it. You had a board of 6 people. 4 of them are around safety policy side, 2 business-oriented. So when you want to make the board more business focused, because it transitioned from a nonprofit type of entity, in a sense, and I'm not a legalese, so I don't know how it all works from a corporate and entity standpoint. But when you have the significant amount of investment, you have to bring a business focus to the organization. And so when you had a focus, and that focus is straight, around policy and different things of that nature. It's just, you just need a different level, right? When you had a board of directors, when you had a $13 billion organization, there's levels to it, right? And who's on a board, there's levels to who can make it on that board. And I don't know the folks in general, but you have some research folks, you have some adjunct senior management folks. You had some people there, but you didn't have some of your traditional corporate heads on those boards. So, there just probably wasn't the level of sophistication that you needed to run an organization that's going to help be forward thinking in the artificial intelligence space. So they fired him. From I heard, it wasn't even an Microsoft Teams call. He got fired on Google, even though it's 50% owned by Microsoft. Go figure that. But if you're owned by 49% Microsoft, please use Microsoft Teams and not Google. But that being said, he was ousted. Right thereafter, next day, I think Saturday, could even been Friday evening. Saturday, he had some members of his team that went to the board and said, what the heck is going on? Like our chief, our top dog is gone. We believed in him. You got to give us some answers. And my understanding, Jason Wong was who's OpenAI chief strategy officer. Didn't get the answers that he wanted. Also, understand that the president, Greg Brockman, quitting in protest. So now you have within 24 hours, you got a big ship, $1 billion ship ready to go down, and someone has to save it. It's too much capital. There's too much investment in this organization for it to go downhill. And then, right, you have a lot of the key staff at OpenAI that says, listen, if he's gone and he's not reinstated, I'm looking to go. So he had his team riding with him. And that's critical when you're a leader. And then he had the support of many of the shareholders. So when you have that, you have a potent leverage when you're talking about termination. And when we're talking about leadership, when we're looking at this, because we're just reporting on what we allegedly know. This is a leadership channel. And in that leadership channel, we talk about how you leverage to be your best leader. And when you look at Sam on Friday, terminated. On Wednesdays, back as a chief. 3 board members gone, new board members on their way. Microsoft satisfied, shareholders are satisfied, internal staff is satisfied, and you see all of this done around Sam Altman. You know that he took care of business. What do I mean by taking care of business? When you run a large organization, which I've done in my career, I run an organization that had about 3,000 people, $1.5 billion organization. When you run that, getting fired if you did something silly, right? You did something unethical. You treated your employees like crap. Or you disrespected them. You didn't invest in them. Then getting fired, hey, he's just another person coming, or she's just another person coming and going. We'll get a new leader in here that's going to give us the vision forward, right? Easy peasy, keep on moving, right? But this situation was quite different. You had a CEO that had a team that believed in his vision. He had a lot of clout and respect in the tech space and many other spaces around this work. In a leadership space, you had Microsoft that believed in him, was ready to offer him a job. You had shareholders believing in him. So then when you get fired, that's a problem. Because now you have your key constituents, your shareholders being number one, your staff being number 1A. And you have, key support from your investors, right? You have the leverage that you needed. Sam, when he was ousted, he knew he had the leverage. When the president was ready to step down, key stakeholders was ready to step down. Staff was saying, listen, I'm giving up my livelihood. I got mortgages. I got tuitions. I got kids. I have, my own investments in my belief in this organization. I'm willing to step away from that because I believe that the termination of Sam Altman was wrong, you know you have a team that's backing you. And as a leader of an organization, and you have your team backing you 110%, you are a potent mix. So for all you future leaders out there, that if you walk away or you're terminated and you have your team ready to stand up for you, you know, you that says a lot about your character and who you are as a leader. We're not talking about transactional type of leadership. We're talking about transformational type of leadership, right? So much so that, again, board members fired, gone, kicked off, do whatever. I'm gonna give you and this was from the New York Times article, and this was allegedly said by Helen Toner's thoughts. All right, so this is her thoughts, as said in the article. She says, or alluded to, and I don't know if this is a quote, right? But this is what alleged where she and herself was positioned around this. The board's mission was to ensure that the company creates artificial intelligence that benefits all of humanity, which we all agree with. And if that company was destroyed, she said, that could be consistent with his mission. Not after a $13 billion investment, it's not. It's not, definitely not. In the board's view, OpenAI would be stronger without Mr. Altman. Now check that out. Now this is Helen saying this, or allegedly saying this, or alluding to this. How disengaged could you be as a board member to potentially go on record and allegedly, per the New York Times, say this? And so you really have to look at that and check. So then you look at the background of the individual. And I just pulled this information. Hopefully it's right. But as a researcher and director of strategy and foundational research grants at Georgetown University Center for Security and Emerging Technologies. Okay. Sounds like done some great work, is doing some great work in the academia space. We all respect that, and she sounds like a great leader. But by making that statement, how disengaged are you? And two, now that Microsoft owns 49% of OpenAI and is invested allegedly, reportedly, $13 million, billion dollars, not million, but billion dollars. I got to put those B's out there because we're talking about a lot of money. Maybe this board was too big. Maybe the board members had still a nonprofit mindset, which is no wrong with that. But now you have a $13 billion investment, and there has to be a change in the perspective of the organization with the understanding that those key principles still exist, right? So, of course, my understanding is Helen is gone. Can you blame them? A few other board members is gone too. We got some new board members: Brett Taylor, Larry Summers, Adam D'Angelo, who was, I think, just the only OpenAI board member that was present previously and current board member. So Larry Summers, we all know him. He was a Treasury Secretary under President Clinton. And Brett Taylor, e-commerce platform on Spotify. So we know these folks are, they know their business. So what you can see is OpenAI is they're putting a different level of talent on the board. I can guarantee you going forward that the board will be realigned to suit the future of OpenAI. But let me just tell you about Sam Altman, because this is about leadership. And Sam, he is stronger today than he was 5 days ago. He was strong then, and apparently he yields a big stick because he's back in a top dog seat. But what you have to understand from a leadership, and every leader needs to understand this, is that when you do good work, when you lead with purpose, with a mission, with visions and goals, when you get a team of people that believes in you and that mission and vision and willing to work hard, sacrifice their livelihood, run through brick walls for you, you know you got a leader there. There's very few that people. So you had a leader. You had someone that's well respected in this space. You had investors that was willing to stand up for him. He has now risen, in my opinion, to being one of the most powerful CEOs in the tech world. Now probably one of the most famous, right? Because there's been a lot said over the last five days. And you look at someone that's ousted, now back on top. For all those CEOs, all those board members, this has to be a lesson in humility. This has to be a lesson in coming to a common ground. This has to be a lesson in professionalism and trying to work things out. And so, unfortunately, all this happened in open air. There's a few people that doesn't look good in this situation. It looks like Sam risen back to the cream of the crop and top of the top. And we'll see where OpenAI goes from. But all you future leaders out there, understand the importance of your team. Understand the importance of treating people well and having a good name and being respected in your space. Understanding how to treat your shareholders and your investors. And understanding how you communicate after your ouster was really critical, and how he handled himself as a professional. It says a lot about his character, and it's a lesson that we all should learn going forward. It is beast mode. This is big news. This is a white paper that folks will be talking about for years and decades to come. How do you get fired and rehired in 5 days? It says something has to change. So your guess is mine. Hit the comment section. Let us know what you think is going to change. I can tell you one thing that I think is going to change upon my experience and just looking at this, that the composition of this board will change. There will not be an even number of board members. I can tell you that. It will be odd. There will probably be more than 6 board members. It's probably more than double. They're probably going to get people from different backgrounds and different vantage points, whether that's financial, whether that's technology, whether that's from a policy side. They're going to bring those folks to the table so they can make good quality decisions so that you don't destabilize an organization like what happened over the last 5 days. Kudos to all involved. Kudos to cooler heads. We'll see where it goes. But from a leadership standpoint, 5 stars, Sam. Way to go. Way to put it forward. If you want to talk, do an interview, come on to the channel. If y'all know them, send them our way. We would love to interview them. But we're going to continue to do content like this. This is our first reaction video. So check out some of the other content that we're doing. I want you to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. So as we come out with new content, you'll get it. But we're all about leadership. We're all about looking at leaders, seeing how they perform, seeing how they make decisions, seeing the good, seeing the bad, and really take the lessons from those things and implement them into our life. Because we can learn a lot from other people's mishaps, or other people's decisions, or other people's mission and path. And so we learned a lot here. We talked a little bit about it, but kudos to everybody. I'm Dr. J. I thank you all for watching, and this is 2 Doc.